Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Thursday, May 23rd. It is 6:24 right now. Market's gonna open in about 6 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, one last thing. And we're good. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, as people join in, I'm gonna go ahead and start market liquidity over here. There. Just gonna mark the nearby ones. All right, down to the 10-minute. And it looks like we're good to go. All right, so the closest level of liquidity over here is going to be at 39,882. And the closest level below is at 39,774. Those are the two closest levels of liquidity right there. Going over to our clean chart, I'm going to mark up 6:30. Mark up 8 o'clock. Go up to the 4-hour. Yeah, by structure right here. We got structure here. Structure down here. Going down to the 1-hour. Structure there. Structure there. So we're good. I've marked up structure on our clean chart. As you can see, price was just rejecting off the 1-hour resistance right there. We'll come back and see what happens when market opens, but there goes a clean chart there. Going to our main chart, I believe there was news today. So there was news at 5:30, 6:45, 7, and 7:30. Okay, so 5:30, which was it's like crazy candle right here. 6:45 and 7:30. There's actually a lot of news today. The 7:30 news is just gas stock change. We have new home sales at 7, and we have PMI at 6:45, which is inflation news. So looks like we're good to go, guys. Market is going to open in about 30 seconds. And we'll see what goes on from here. See who's here so far. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Kevin. Morning, Keel. Morning, Sadie. Morning, everybody. All right, guys, so today's Monday, today's not Monday, today's Thursday, September 23rd. Market's gonna open in about 15 seconds. We marked up liquidity. We marked up the clean chart. We're now looking for where price is gonna go here on open. If you guys sat in on the mentoring session yesterday, I have a new clean chart here. I've marked up the 50 mark so that you guys can kind of see where price pushes from. If you want to go for the full 1000s or the full hundreds or the 500s, I just marked up the zones here so we can come back and take a look at that. We'll use it as a confluence. There was an entry that came up over here pre-market, which got hit, as you guys can see over here. Price broke below, retraced, continuation right here for momentum, or momentum divergence, and then it came down further. If you're going to do 50-50, then 25-25 would work. Otherwise, if you're doing the 100 mark, the 50-50 would work for that. If you guys want to rewatch that, pull up our mentoring session from yesterday. I'm not going to explain it during this live session, so just go back and rewatch that mentoring session if you guys want to understand how that works. I'm mainly going to use it as a confluence, though, not necessarily a standalone entry. So we got the opening price right there. Price is dumping super heavy right now. It's setting up for a PRB entry for a sell as well. I'm gonna let the market kind of stabilize a little bit before I start looking for any entries here. Come back and I'll identify if anything else here that we should mark up a little later. So liquidity right there just got hit, guys. The lower level liquidity. And the next level again below. I wouldn't take a continuation like that. I would just take the first one if you're looking for liquidity here. So the first level right there got hit. Second level here is currently running. Looks like it got hit too. There's the two levels right there, liquidity down below that I marked up pre-market. Back to our main chart here. Again, we're kind of gonna have to wait for news because news is kind of close. The ATR is currently 13 right now, so it's pretty decent. It's not great, but it is decent. It's pushing back up to 15, so 15 is a sweet spot. That's like the normal ATR. If you guys remember yesterday, we covered this during the mentoring session as well. So you can see over here, very low. Consolidating market is under 9 ATR. Neutral sideways market is 9 to 12. Normal market is 13 to 17. Right now it's at 15, so this is normal market conditions. Above average is 18 to 22, and very high volatility cautionary market is above 23. So those are the ATR ranges. As you guys can see, it's back to 15. So price looks like market is moving as normal right now. It's been a long time since it's moved like this. So we'll see if it holds or if it ends up going back down to sub 9 in the next few moments. All right, so that said, here's the other clean chart. Here's our main clean chart. It's currently at the support right now. So this is, I believe, the 1 hour support. See, one of two things will likely happen at this point here. Price will either bounce off it or will continue dropping. This thing is dumping pretty far. I mean, the volatility here is extremely high in comparison to what we're used to. The volatility here is considered normal with regard to ATR, but for the most part, ATR has not been this high for the past maybe week or so. So we'll see if it dumps further into the support level. Zoom out a little bit. Yeah, next to the whole market is pushing down right now. Let's go over here to CNBC real quick, update. Of course, CNBC reported that the stocks rise. So it said S&P rises to fresh record highs at 9:32. That was about 2 minutes ago. As soon as they reported that, price came crashing down. Go figure. But yeah, just looking at this over here on CNBC, the Dow is currently down 86 points. S&P is currently up 22 points, not very high. And the NASDAQ's currently up 167 points. So NASDAQ's up, Dow's down, S&P is pretty much neutral right now. It seems like a lot of people are reacting to the FOMC minutes yesterday. So if you guys follow the FOMC minutes yesterday, pretty much the Fed announced that they're a bit worried about the inflation progress because inflation hasn't gone down, and if it doesn't go down, that just means things are getting worse, and that's why people are selling off right here. So we'll see what happens here. I mean, it seems like a lot of people are just acting on the news from yesterday, the FOMC minutes, because the market was closed or it was open, but it was towards the end of the market. So a lot of people are starting to chase into this bandwagon over here to the bottom side. So price is breaking past the support level over here now. You guys are looking for this over here. As you guys know, price broke and closed below the structure. You're looking for the retracement and continuation. Price is currently at the New York low. So it looks like the New York low and the Asia low is pretty much the 1 hour support. So if you look over here on our clean chart, that's pretty much where it's lined up at. Yeah, next to the ATR is at 18, might have to change stop loss by making it wider. Yeah, I agree. So we'll see. We'll see how the candles look once we get closer to like entry. Because the volatility could just die back down. It's not looking like it's slowing down yet, but it is a possibility. Yeah, the ATR is at 19.55 right now, so it's still pretty high. It's currently at the New York low. So again, like what I mentioned yesterday during the live session or during the mentoring session, guys, look for the divergence. So it's currently in a bearish divergence, of course, as it crashed down right here. Look for the divergence back up for retracement, and then look for the possible continuation back down. This is pretty much just like pure momentum and pure trend using this over here. It's just good as a confluence to see how price breaks whole numbers and also the movement of divergence and momentum. But looking at this over here, you guys can see price is overextended. It's due for retracement, so it's going to have to retrace at some point. We're going to measure this from like way up here. This thing's dropped almost 300 points. So the news at 6:45, let me check. The news at 6:45 is forecasted to be neutral negative. So we'll see. I mean, it's slightly down. I think this is going to be it's either going to be neutral or positive for the most part. So that's probably what's going to push price up. Retail sentiment is currently 69% short, 31% long. Yeah, exactly. Nick said he gave all the shorts they wanted. Try refreshing it, Nick, because I don't think it's at 58. I mean, there's no way it would jump because this was at 72 this morning. It can't jump from like 72 to like 60 something, right? 64. That's a big jump of people jumping ship to the shorts, the long side. Yeah, use daily FX. We never use IG. We stopped using IG like 2 years ago, bro. That's why we stopped using IG, because that would happen. It's lagged. If you refresh it, it'll show the actual one, but it'll kind of give you a delayed one sometimes. I think there's something wrong with the website. It gives you like something that's like super delayed way back, but if you keep refreshing it, it'll give you like the actual one. That's why we moved over to the daily FX. It's the same thing. The data is from IG. It's just daily FX has it's more updated. Yeah, no, I stopped using IG a while back because of that. Because I remember we were analyzing one time, and we were like, this doesn't make sense. And then we realized shortly that the reason why. All right, so we got price breaking back into this lower end over here. Looks like price is going to be going into consolidation at this point. It's going into consolidation below the support. No confirmation yet, but I'll just mark that up down there below as the lower low, possible support level. All right, so it looks like this is where the volatility is going to die down. Volatility picked up to like 15, 14, went up from like 13 to 15 to 16, 18. Now it's stuck at 18. I think this is where the volatility starts to die down. It's probably just going to consolidate until we get some news over here. Once we get news, it's going to pick back up, probably spike in a direction. But this looks like an area of consolidation here. We have that lower low there. It's not established yet. If it's established, then I'll leave this up here. I've marked up structure, but if not, I'll take it off. In order for it to be established, we need to have a new high here to push up a little bit. If the high pushes up, then this lower low is going to be established. This will be the support on the 1 minute, and then this will be where the consolidation is already starting to show itself. Right here, we got news in about 4 minutes. So sit tight. See, next set, if it pushes down, this would be a divergence, but it's way overextended. Well, the thing that you have to look for too here, and this is what I mentioned yesterday, is if the divergence does happen, your TP would have to be before the next level, right? So as long as the TP doesn't overlap into the next zone down here, then I mean, technically it's still fine. Because what you're looking for here is you're basically looking for price to push to the next whole number. But I do agree it is overextended, so not something I would personally mess with. All right, we got the buy signal right here. This is the retracement confirmation. Nice. William said he just bought another Apex to play around with on gold. Just made 346. Lost out on first gold because it barely gets EP on TV. Didn't hit on Apex. Yeah, that happens sometimes, especially when the market's super volatile like that. All right, so we got the buy signal here that's still pending, hasn't closed yet. This is the PRB, guys. I mean, I wouldn't take it because it's overextended, but this is the PRB right here. Oops. PRB entry that is currently running right now. It's a big risk because we have news coming up in about 2 minutes. My guess is that it's going to push price up. If it stays neutral or bullish, that's kind of what's forecasted here. Where it's forecasted to be one news event, which is medium over here. S&P Global Composite PMI is forecasted to be negative. However, everything else is forecasted to be neutral. So we'll see what happens here when the market hits that time and the news is released, but no updates over here from CNBC, at least not yet. All right, we got news coming up in about 50 seconds. Exactly. Nick said they wish it would be neutral. Sadie's asking Sean, was there an MPS? So let's see, price pull down right here, retraced up. Yeah, so it looks like there was an MPS that was right here, Sadie. I mean, I personally would have been a little careful on this because it was so overextended, but this was the MPS right here. So the MPS happened at the 50 mark. Right there, and it already hit TP. Like on the next candle. I don't know if anybody caught the NPS right there, but there was an NPS at the 50 mark right there. Price pulled down, retraced up. There was a big spike to the downside again right there. PRV just hit full TP, guys. So if you guys take the PRV, nice work. It was on the news channel. Let's check the news real quick, see what happened there. So the news was actually positive. So waiting for this second news event right here to update. But everything over here is positive. Yeah, so the news was positive, but we did get that spike to the downside. You guys can see it was just a fake, it was a manipulated move. So you see the big candle right here, the big candle wick. Pretty much spiked down, but the news was positive. So it basically just spiked out whoever was on the buy side to wipe them out. And then now it'll probably swing back up. Or it might just continue dropping. The ATR is really high right now, guys. So just be very careful about your entries. The ATR is currently at 20. So like I said before, this is above average. You know, if we have, let me put the ranges over here again. I put this up during the mentoring session yesterday for someone who asked. Right now, the ATR is currently above average volatility between 18 and 22. Goes past 22, it's very high. You got to be very cautionary because, you know, price can kind of just spike both ways. Yeah, True said not down for the pivot scalp to close to news. Yeah. I would wait for the market to kind of react to the news first. The news just came out right here at 6:45. Wait and see how the market reacts to it because right now it's tricky. If this here closes, this could be a possible another opportunity for the that levels move that I introduced to you guys yesterday. No, it's not. So the divergence there didn't close, so this wouldn't be a move here, and at this point, it's going to be too low. So we have price pushing down further. You want to be careful with these sells here, guys. I mean, the sells are solid, but you want to be careful because the news here was positive. So you just want to be careful for the possible manipulation. Because what I can see happening here is a possible whipsaw. You guys can see from this big wick right here. Price wasn't supposed to come down. It came down, it spiked back up. Then it's pushing down a little further right here. Rashida's asking how many points is that move? Which move, Rashida? Sorry, I'm going between charts. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. If you're taking it from 50 to 50, like if you're at, because right here I have it marked up at the 50 marks. If you're doing it from 50 to 50, it'll be 25 because you're trading within the whole numbers. If you're doing the 100 mark, then you would do 50-50 because you're basically looking to trade within the zones. I mean, well, not the zones, but within the whole numbers, right? So you just half it. So if you're doing 50-50, I just do 50-50 because the hundreds don't really get hit very often during the live session. I kind of just cut it down a little bit. So it's either 25-25 or 50-50. So there's like another setup here. Price broke below. You can basically just look for the same thing, look for the retracement, and then come back down. It's basically pure trend trading with momentum. The ATR is very, very high right now, guys. Be careful if you guys are taking any entries. If you guys are taking entries, you might have to use a 1030 TP stop loss because the ATR is super high. You just got to keep in mind that as price, you know, retraces back even a little bit, you might get stopped out at the 20. So just a heads up. I know some of you guys don't want to take that much risk. Maybe lower your contract size if you're going to widen your stop loss a little bit. I mean, I don't want to take that risk, of course, so I'm not going to be risking it. I'm going to be waiting. Waiting for this here to kind of smoothen out a bit. Nick said that he just took the high-low scalp and it closed TP in less than a second. Yeah, the volatility is really high right now. Yeah, it shows that it could have done the same with stop loss just as easy. Exactly. Steve said, I'm waiting for this, for all this to settle down. Yeah, it's gonna settle down eventually, guys. The thing is, I'm worried to chase the sells here. Even though we are looking for sells here, I'm worried to chase it because the news here at 6:45 was positive, and we haven't had a reaction to it yet. So a correction is probably going to happen eventually. There just hasn't been there hasn't been a retracement yet. Because the thing is, it's all high impact news. Like this right here, S&P Global Services PMI was very good compared to what it was forecast. It was forecast to be 51, it was 54. Same with the composite PMI, it was 51, it was actually 54. So manufacturing not as much, but everything else here. So I mean, this might be a retail trap. That's why you just want to be cautious. You want to be able to analyze it from different perspectives, not necessarily just for your trade, but against your trade as well. So you understand, okay, this is a risk that comes with taking a certain trade at a certain area. So here's a clean chart. It's currently at the 4-hour support now. So it is currently at the 4-hour support right here. I mean, it's still climbing down pretty heavy. ATR is currently at 25. That's extremely high now, guys. The ATR is very, very high. We haven't had a market like this in a long time. This is how the market should have been moving all month. It should have been moving directional like this, but obviously, if you guys have been following, it hasn't. It's been going not this way. If you guys want to use a 1530 TP stop loss, you can do that as well because the volatility here is high enough where you can possibly catch a 1530. So just a heads up, if you guys are looking for something, you don't want to use a super tight TP stop loss, you can use a 1530 because the way that the market's currently moving right now, 1530 could be useful. So just keep that in mind. I wouldn't necessarily make all those changes right now, but just something to keep in mind if the market continues to move at high volatility. Let's see, Nick said, I'm sticking to the plan, taking entries as they come up and extending stop loss and lowering contract size accordingly. He has his preset ATM strategies waiting for him to use on his Ninja Trader when ATR goes up and when it goes down. Yeah, solid, Nick. It's exactly what you got to do there. I mean, the ATR is really high right now. I'm going to set one up at, I'm not going to do it right now, but I'm just going to set it up just in case. It's a 1530. Because it looks like the volatility might stay pretty high. Here, let me see what my risk is. So it's 8 on that one. Yeah, right now the ATR is like super high. So I'll keep it at 20 for now, but I just want to keep backup just in case I gotta make some adjustments. Smaller contract, a little bit of a smaller contract size. Other than that, let's see. So no breaking news here from CNBC. S&P is now red. So the Dow is currently down 240 points. S&P is down 1 point. Nasdaq's up 76 points, but it is coming down. Price is starting to swing back up right here. We got news at 7 o'clock, which is high impact. We have new home sales month over month and new home sales for April. So it's 5 minutes slow news. Probably not going to take anything until after. Yeah, Daniel said, haven't seen it dump like this in a while, or dump this hard in a while. Yeah, I agree. Same here. Like, this is how the market should have been moving for the past 3 months, but it hasn't been moving this way. This is what we were expecting, but yeah, exactly. Rashida said we needed this dump. We needed the dump here to basically balance out the playing field, right? Because the thing is, the market's been kind of going sideways and going up for a long time, that we needed this here to come down because this is not going to create a big range for us to trade in, right? Now we can trade within all of like this whole area here. Lately, it's kind of just been going sideways, so we wouldn't really have much of an area to trade in. Like if you were to see how the market was moving, like over here, right? You can't really trade in a small area like this. This is kind of how the market was moving before. Now we have this big drop right here. So now that we have this big drop, we have this whole area for price to kind of just bounce around, right? So this is beneficial. This is a good sign that price has started to move a little bit, because this might be the start of some actual direction in the market versus, the market, which has just been going sideways or going up for so long. Yeah, exactly. Abraham said it's a healthy retracement. I agree 100%. We need this retracement. We just haven't had any retracement in a long time. And if price did retrace, it would retrace for a little bit and then just consolidate and then, go sideways. All right. You got sideways movement right here as we get closer to the news price at 7 o'clock. As you guys can see, the price is starting to kind of die down a little bit. As it dies down a little bit like this, you'll see the ATR start to drop back down, which is fine. Or it might go up. It looks like the ATR is still picking up. It's at 23 right now. Just when you thought it was going to slow a little bit. Yeah, Drew said, I hate when it's near the all-time high. Yeah, same here. The all-time high is always tricky because people are trying to sell off and catch the top, but the market's not always going to give you something like that. It's probably going to trick you and manipulate around those higher areas. We got the news coming up in about a minute, guys, minute and a half. Nick said the sell signal is crossing pivots on the daily time frame. All right, let's take a look at the bigger picture here. So the 1 minute is obviously bearish, 5 minutes bearish, 10 minutes bearish, 30 minutes bearish, 1 hour is, this candle is crazy. So if you guys look on the higher time frames, the candles are pretty crazy. Well, the current candle is pretty crazy. If you guys look over here in the 1 hour, look how big this sell signal is. This is massive. This thing pretty much engulfed every candle that has passed for like the past, basically like the past week. So this candle is bigger than any candle that's come up since like May 1st. So on May 1st is the last time we had a huge candle like this. It's been like 23 days since we've ever had a big candle like this. The crazy thing is that this isn't even based off news. This is based off the FOMC from yesterday. So FOMC came out yesterday right here at 11. People sold off right here, then price corrected back up, and then it dumped right back down. So this candle here is huge. So let's go back over here. Let's see. Jay said the markets are moving like this. And just because it doesn't move much in the opening session doesn't mean it's not moving. I mean, I think it went over your head, Jay. we're talking about how it's not moving like this during the open, because this is how it's supposed to open. It's supposed to move like this during the open. It's not that the market's not moving, it's that it's not moving like this during the open. If you trade it over, we've been trading like for how many years now? Every spring, the market is supposed to move like this. That's how the market conditions work during the seasons, right? It picks up in the spring, it slows down in the summer, picks up in the fall, slows down in the winter. That's how the opening session works. It's supposed to move like this because that's when everybody's trading. Obviously, if you're going to count the whole market, New York session, the whole New York session is not going to be dead. It's just not, that's not how it's going to work, because people are trading all throughout the day. But the opening session is supposed to be the busiest time of the day. If you look, you could look anywhere and do any research that you like. Everybody will tell you that the opening session is supposed to be the busiest session. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the whole market. Obviously, the market's going to move. There's news that happens later in the day. A lot of the Fed speakers and Powell speak like later on in the day, like around 10 or 11. But for the most part, all of the high impact news happens in the morning. So that's why it's supposed to move like this in the open, but it hasn't moved like this for the past 3 months. So I think you kind of misinterpreted what we were saying there. It's not that the market's not moving. Obviously, the market's moving. The market's not going to be flat. It's a stock market, right? Stock market has to move. How are the people going to make money? But we're talking about here during the opening session. That's the whole reason why everybody trades opening session. This is the London-New York overlap, right? This is where London overlaps with New York. That's why you have London traders trading between like 6:30 to like 8 or 9. And that's why the volatility picks up there, because you have all the traders from London and you have all the traders from New York trading at the same time. That's why volatility should be high. Yeah, exactly. Like what Abraham said. Yeah, it used to open with 100 plus pips, which is considered like 1,000 or 1,000 points or 100 pips is like similar to like 100 points, which would be 1,000 pips actually, if you're going to break it down to indices. And now it's been like 30, 40, that's exactly what we were just talking about. It's not moving how the market is supposed to move during open, because you have so many traders trading there during this time. Like Asia session is slow because it's only Asia session who's trading, right? New York session is supposed to be really fast around this time. So if you turn on like let me see, if you turn on the sessions over here, you can kind of see the overlap. So if I turn on the background well, you can't see it here, but the red background is London session. And the green color over here is New York session. So see how this green area here is New York session? This is where it overlaps with London. And that's why it's supposed to move a lot more volatile during this time. All right, so there's still no entries here, guys. Price is going back and forth. We have a divergence kind of swinging down right here. But there's no opportunity here for entry just yet. I mean, technically there could be if this candle closes red. I don't know if anybody wants to take it. I'll just mark it up as a confluence. I'm not going to take it, but I'll follow it. It's a little far down. Like I said, you should probably want to pull out of this. This is going to be the previous strategy that I was just referring to you guys from the session, from the mentoring session. So it's a little too far down. I wouldn't take it because it's going to get caught at this lower level of full number right there. And you typically want to be out before it gets to that point, because once it gets to this lower point, this is going to be an area where this here, I'm not even going to mark it up for you guys. It's too low. If another one comes up, I'll mark it up for you guys. But you're basically looking to trade within the whole numbers. So basically, if you get an entry up here, you're going to try to catch it down to the next whole number. If price pushes above over here, you'll try to catch it to the next whole number right there. But all right, so other than that, there's still nothing for us to take here right now. Price is currently at this area down the middle. The news was at 7 o'clock. Let's check the news. News was positive for the month of April, but it was negative for month over month. So for this specific month, it was a lot better than they were expecting. But for the month over month, it's still not doing well. Nice. Vince caught a V1 at 7:02 on FTMO. Nice work, Vince. So we have the possible divergence here setting up. The only problem with this right now, guys, is that it's currently at news price. And it's not really moving. So the ATR is still super high, but the candles here have kind of died down a bit. So the ATR is really high, but if it doesn't move, so if this continues to go sideways for the next couple minutes, guys, the ATR is going to die down very drastically. So it's at 23 right now. Let's measure this previous candle. I mean, there's still some volatility per candle. So the ATR might kind of just stay flat around like 20. But if these candles get smaller, the ATR is going to start dropping. All right. Sorry, I just had to respond to some messages there. There's nothing here right now, guys. We are again just waiting. PRB already came through. There is nothing else here. So price is currently in the 4-hour support right here. It's been pretty much ranging and consolidating within the 4-hour support down below. And there is not really too much here. Nice. So Lorene already got her profits. Nice work, Lorene. And Freddie as well. All right, Frederick. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Yeah, so if you guys made your profits already, nice work. I haven't taken anything, so I'm still waiting for some opportunity here. Price is coming back down below this area. But it looks like price is just going to consolidate. So it already pushed through already, and now it's just consolidating sideways. It's in this area here. So I'm hoping we're going to get some more direction, and it doesn't just stay sideways like this. Gotcha. So Frederick said he's done for the week. He doesn't trade on Fridays, just Monday through Thursday, which is a good idea. Not smart, Freddie. That's smart because a lot of people do lose trades on Friday, including myself. So I should probably factor that in as well. I mean, we'll see. Sometimes Fridays are good, sometimes they aren't. I mean, it just kind of depends. So there is a divergence coming down right here, guys. If this candle's got to close like as a sure red candle though. So I'm going to be taking this right here. If it closes red, it's got to be like a for sure red candle. It can't be like a doji or it can't be kind of weak. It's got to be a strong red candle. I'm going to do a 10-20 on this one. This candle has 20 seconds left on it. Still got some time. So I need it to close at least around this area down here. It's not looking like it's going to. Might be the next one. Yeah, there's no red candle there. So no entry. All right, we have another opportunity right here. Probably not. All right, there's another opportunity right here, guys. The candle would have to close like We have to make sure it does close red. I know it's touching news price right here. No, I'm gonna hold off on this one. Yeah, it's just hard to follow because it was touching for one, it was touching news price and the candle didn't even close red. So again, right here, I'll follow it. And good thing we did, because you can see right there, that's exactly why you don't want to take, trades when the price is touching the news price. So again, this is a clear example of why you want to be careful when taking trades around red flags. Doesn't matter if it's news price, opening price, sessions. Obviously, the opening price and sessions are going to be more risky, but even news price over here, you can see how the manipulation happens. And then on top of that, there was no red candle. So go figure. Nothing there. It looks like this is going to reset, so this is fine. Get this buy signal here, it's going to confirm the retracement. And now it's going to reset. So at this point, we'll see if price comes back down. If it doesn't, that's completely fine. If price pushes up, we can start looking for a buy. But as you guys can see over here, price is really just consolidating within this lower range right here. It's pretty much what's happening right now. So we again just wait. I mean, it kind of sucks. I was hoping the market would keep moving direction like it was moving earlier right here. But you can see this was just a continuance from yesterday's FOMC news. So again, if you guys didn't follow the news from yesterday, the FOMC minutes came out. The Fed basically mentioned that they weren't satisfied with the progress on inflation, meaning that they're not doing a good job right now, and they got to do a better job to control inflation. Inflation's up super high. People are getting laid off. It's not good for the economy. So, let's see. So let's see. We have a possible CD entry right here. It's kind of hard to tell because this candle's a little big. It's not like an obvious small candle. This is a CD entry right here, guys. We talked about this yesterday. These entries don't really come up very often. It's kind of hard to tell too because of the size of the candle. You typically want one that's like really small so that you know for sure it's a CB entry. Like this candle over here was closing, but it was kind of like closer to the bottom end. And you couldn't really tell if it was going to close smaller, if it was going to close the same size until like the very last couple of seconds. When you guys are taking these CB entries, you want it to be super obvious. You want it to be like a big green candle and a very small one, or like a big red candle and a very small green one, so that you know for sure it's going to be a CB. I mean, nonetheless, this is still a CB entry right here. A little tricky, of course, because the volatility is a little higher. So you might want a bigger TP stop loss, but in a situation like that, this is still a CB entry that we discussed yesterday. So I think, Vimal, you asked about the CB entry, right? This is a CB entry right here. It doesn't come up very often, but when it does come up, it usually does play through. But I'm just going to take this off. I don't want you guys to think that I'm in any of these positions. I'll let you guys know if I'm entering something. I just wanted to mark it up there. Yeah, exactly. Akil said, I prefer double body, double wick CBs. Yeah, same here. I think those are way better because those are going to give you a better confluence as to the reversal that's happening. Because you'll get the reversal and then you'll look for the continuation basically to cover whatever big candle was established with that high or that low. So there's still no entries here right now. I just marked this up so that you guys can see the range, but realistically, there's nothing going on at this moment. Price to climb up above right here. There might be an entry over here for a buy actually, guys. So we had the bullish divergence right here. If we get a retracement and we get another bullish divergence back up, that'll be an entry for an actual buy here. I forgot what we called this yesterday. I don't think we gave it a name, but this is kind of what I was showing you guys yesterday during the mentoring session. All right. Nick said I'm more looking on the sell side using the CV as a confluence. Yeah, did the CV hit yet? Let's see. Yeah, the CV actually hit already. So I don't know if anybody took the CV entry, but that was a CV entry that I marked up. I don't want to leave it up because I want you guys to think that I was in the position. The CV did play through right there. That CV is a good confluence for a initial reversal. So this could be the initial reversal here where price rejects off it and establishes, say a triple top right here. We get a new high that gets established at some point over here, be a triple top, and then probably range right back down. Again, I'm looking for the momentum divergence. We just don't have one yet, but I am looking for one here. The ATR is starting to die down a little bit, like we talked about earlier. It's still staying, it's sitting pretty nicely above 20, but it might start to phase out as we get closer to like 738. Let's see, Lamal said the pivots aren't in line, isn't it? So the green is crossing the blue right now, but if it comes back down like it's doing right now, it's probably going to align. It'll be ribboned out and fanned out to the downside. For the most part, I mean, this doesn't really matter. The blue and the green don't matter as much because they cross over a lot. So if you look over here, the pivots that will matter if you're looking for trend will be the red and orange. If you guys remember before, sometimes I would just turn off the green and blue. I think I did that a lot like last year because they just cross over a lot. So if you're looking just for trend, you can just use the red and orange, which is 4 and 3. But if you want to leave all of them on, that's fine too. It's just the level 1s and 2 are so weak that they cross over more often. I think someone even took the pivot entries where they would cross over. So like sometimes people would take entries where the trend would establish, and then if they cross over back to the above like this, so they cross over below and they cross back above right here, somebody would take an entry. They would just take crossovers for the pivots. That's another way of trading. So like I said yesterday during the mentoring session, like if there's like one strategy or one tool that you really like, I could go super deep into like different types of strategies that are applicable for that specific indicator or tool or strategy, because there's so many different ways to apply each strategy. I've been using these tools for years now. So there's a lot of different ways to trade this way. Yeah, exactly. So Natasha said that's what she does actually. She just follows the pivots, which is actually pretty easy. I mean, if you follow the pivots and you use the momentum as well, I think it's a pretty good tool. Yeah, so that's something that you guys can look at as well if that's something that you guys want to take. I mean, Natasha passed how many challenges already on her phone, trading on her phone at that. So it's got to work, you know? Yeah, exactly. Natasha said, yeah, she's trading on her phone, so she needed something easy. Yeah. So that's smart. See, like Natasha, she just came up with her own way of trading. I didn't even teach her that. She just kind of saw the pattern here, that the way that it worked, and she traded that way, and it's been killing it. So yeah, if that's something you guys want to do, follow the trend and just catch the crossovers. I think one thing that you could probably want to use too is the momentum. So if you have momentum in your favor, like for example, right here, we have the crossover of the pivots 1 and 2. If we had a sell momentum here already, then I would have been, kind of okay to take that trade there as well. I mean, there's a lot of different ways. Now that you've mentioned that, Natasha, I think we might have another strategy here. It's like a triple confluence, but with like different things. So triple confluence with momentum, the pivots, the trend, and the divergence down here. But like the momentum would have to be established already. So it's just a continuation of the momentum. That's actually a pretty good strategy. Let me go back and take a look at that real quick. Yeah, so the crossover happened right here. Had the divergence, bullish momentum, bullish trend. Your entry would happen right there. That's actually a really good entry. So it's like a momentum divergence on crack, basically. It's like because it's basically a triple confluence for the momentum divergence. Because you're basically using three confluences here. And it doesn't happen super often. I mean, it happens, but it doesn't happen super often. I'll take a look at that a little later, maybe on some downtime, but I'll come back to it later. I'll have to back test it and see. Yeah, Kill said that didn't that pattern just come up and it hit CP? So no, not this one because the sell signal wasn't active already, Akil. So what we were looking for is for the sell signal to be active and then look for these to cross over. So like say, for example, we have this here right now, right? We would look for the pivots here to cross back over and then come back down. Because you're basically looking for the continuation. Like you could get in right away. Like that could be another entry for you if you really wanted to. You can get in right away. I know this is something that one of the other guys used to apply to. I think Zsuk used to do this. He would look for the sell signal, and if it lined up with the cross for the pivots, he would take it. So I mean, there's a lot of different ways to apply this, but the way that I was looking for it is instead of taking the initial cross, I would look for this to be established, retrace, and then come back down. I would go for like the second, the second touch there, or second cross actually. Yeah, beforehand, because I would want to have a confirmation versus like just getting in on the first cross. Because the first cross is kind of tricky. I mean, it works, but it is kind of tricky. Gotcha. So Natasha said she waits for it to cross over, then the momentum signal, then she takes it if the candle's decent. Okay, that makes sense. So Nick mentioned over here a possible high-low scalp. I wouldn't take, well, for me personally, I'm not going to take the high-low scalp. I'm going to stick to these momentum divergences that we talked about. So I'm just going to kind of take it easy here until I have something here come up. Yes, and ladies and gentlemen, that's how strategy is birthed. Yeah, exactly. You just see patterns in the market, guys. Like these tools, like I mentioned before, I give you guys a foundation with these tools and these strategies, and you guys can always play around with them and figure out different strategies within this ecosystem. Because there's no one way to trade. So like I've said before, there's no one way to trade, guys. You guys can trade however you guys like. As long as it's profitable, that's the key thing. As long as the strategy is profitable and you're able to repeat the process, then, great, apply that strategy. If not, then, it's probably best to stick to what you have and then keep trying different variations to it until you find something that kind of clicks for you. Because everybody's going to have their own specific edge. Not everybody's going to trade the same way. Not everybody's going to have the same edge. People are going to be trading differently, and people are going to be making profits in like so many different ways. Yeah, Nick said might get a divergence, then a real high low. Yeah, I'll be looking for that too. Yeah, there's an MPS right here, Nathan. Did you catch that? It looks like it hit right here on this red candle. So it came down. Nice. So Nathan actually caught this here. Let me take these zones off. So there was an MPS right here. The sell signal, price came below, this green candle pushed up. The entry happened right here at the 20 mark. Nathan caught it and went straight to the TP right here immediately after. Nice work, Nathan. I haven't really been looking at the MPS. That's why it's not one of the things that I'm taking. If I was focused on the MPS, then maybe I would take it. But the volatility has been slow for the past couple weeks now, that we just haven't been able to even take them if we wanted to. So these candles here are starting to get really small, as you guys can see. The ETR is still at 19, but the candles are getting a little small. So if we get a strong red candle here, this is going to be an entry for momentum divergence, which I will take. It's got to be like a pretty strong red candle, though. It can't be. So this is what we were talking about yesterday from all, like, right? If it's not clear, I'm not going to take it. But if it's strong and it closes down here, then okay, I would take it. We had this discussion yesterday during the mentoring session. All right, so this candle closes strong. I'll take this here. Candle's closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In the position right there. See where my entry was. It's kind of tight. So 87.
Order submitted.
So it's coming down. I think it already hit TP actually. Can't tell, Ninja is kind of laggy here. So it looks like it hit TP already. I don't know if anybody got out yet. But it looks like it pushed down pretty hard and it hit TP. I can't tell here if it hit TP on my end because it said order submitted, but it happened so fast that I don't know if it actually closed me out. Check my other accounts here. So let's see. Yeah, Maria got in already, got out, hit her TP. There you go, fully out now.
Order filled.
Full TP right there, guys. So like I said, if you just wait, be patient for these entries, they'll come to you. And they came to us right there. I'm gonna make sure everything's flattened out. Okay, solid. So I'm still a little red for the week so far. Obviously I made profit on this trade, but I'm still a little red for the week, which is okay. It's all part of the game. Thanks, Nick, for the heads up right there. This thing lined up exactly with what Nick was looking for. He was looking for the high-low scalp, but then it came up with a momentum divergence. I said, if the candle here closed big, I'm going to take it. It closed big just like we wanted. And the entry came up there perfect with like literally no drawdown. So nice work, guys, for catching that right there. It sucks. Vimal said he missed it. It's okay, Vimal. I know it sucks. It's all good, though. We'll catch the next one. Slider. So let me just take a screenshot of this right here. I'm going to show you guys all of my profits, of course. You got to be realistic. Not every day is going to be super smooth. Luckily, today was pretty decent. And we'll see if we have another one come up here. So I'm doing things slightly different with, I'm now taking all of my trades on my personal account versus my Apex account now, just because I want to see if the execution is better. But let me just give a little update over here real quick for this trade. That was for momentum divergence. It lined up with a high-low scalp though, so it's basically a 2-in-1. So this is what I mean about taking like multiple entries with, or not multiple entries, but entries with multiple confluences. Because they make a huge, huge difference with your probability of it winning. Okay, so there's no other entries here right now, guys. We gotta wait for the market here to reset anyways. So let's just take a look. And we have news over here at 7:30. It's a low impact gas stock change, so it's not gonna be a big deal. Other than that, there's nothing else coming up right here. There might be another entry for that other strategy that I mentioned during the mentoring session. I'll have to come up with a name for this. I guess it could just be momentum divergence V2. We just V2 everything, right? I think that's probably be the easiest thing. So I think for now, I'll just kind of call it we'll call it an MDV2, momentum divergence. We have to say the whole thing. So we'll just use acronyms for now on, guys, because I think it's a little difficult saying momentum divergence every time. So we'll just say MDV2. Again, right here, price broke below, we're tracing up. If it breaks back below over here with divergence, then this could be a possible MDV2. If that sounds weird, just let me know. I'll try to think of a different name. But just for now, so that we're not just calling it something random. Say one per momentum. I think that's a little too long. I'm trying to shorten it. Like something very similar, like high-low scalp, pivot scalp, etc. Something that's like super quick that we can say. Because we're going between charts, right? So like we'll say like MD, PRB, BB3, clean chart, liquidity, and then like MDV2. Well, we'll think of something. We don't need to think of it right now. But anyways, here are my profits so far. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Never mind, Sadie. I thought Sadie said to call it one per momentum. He meant we only take it one per momentum. Yeah, that's correct. So one per momentum here. I mean, technically you can keep going, but so if you back test it, you'll see if because sometimes you'll have momentum that just goes on for a long time, right? Like for example, here we have a sell momentum. This could probably last for like, an hour. If it goes on for that long, you can technically take multiples. But for me personally, being on the conservative side, I only take one per momentum because I don't want to get greedy, right? I just want to take what's there, let it retrace, and then come back down. So yeah, for technically you're supposed to do one per momentum. I've seen other people, and from my testing in the past, take multiples per momentum. But for me personally, if we're just going to trade between 6:30 and 8, there's probably going to be only like one entry or two entries between that time period anyways. Unless the market is super, super, super volatile. Right, Sadie? I know I was so confused for a second when you said that. I was like, that's a really long name, Sadie, to be calling the strategy. I was like, we were trying to shorten it. And you gave me like a super long one per momentum, which kind of made sense with the strategy here. But anyways, so here are my profits so far. There's nothing for us to take here right now, guys. So don't worry, you're not missing out on anything here. Let's just go over what I made. So here's my personal account. I locked in 475. I've kind of changed up my copier. So my main account now is going to be my personal account, and then everything else is going to copy. Initially, it was my Apex account, but I think with using my main account, my profits are a lot bigger because before it would be smaller than 1,000, and now I'm getting full profit on all my accounts. So I'm just gonna leave it as is like this. So I made 475 per on my main account, and then 1,100 per Apex account, and then down here on my MFF account, I made 825. Still red for the week, but it's okay. I need like one or two more trades. One more trade to break even, and then one more trade to pull back into profit. I mean, it's been a tough month, guys, as you guys have known. We've been having basically a break-even week almost every week now, which sucks, or maybe a small win. But that's just kind of how it is. Like Vimal mentioned that yesterday, he asked me if I was going to do anything different. Like I told him, I'm not going to do anything different because I'd rather have a break-even week than a losing week, right? Or a break-even month than a losing month. I don't think we've had a losing month in a long time now. So for the most part, I'm just going to be sticking to my game plan, look at momentum divergences here because that's kind of what's working right now with this type of market. And just keep pushing forward, right? If this ends up being a break-even week again, then that's fine. I'd rather be at break-even than having a blown account because it just hurts more when you start to second guess what you're doing. And I've been doing this for a couple of years now, so I know that it's all about consistency and discipline. You just got to stick to your trading plan. The only time I would would change my trading plan is if I have like 2 back-to-back red months. If I have 2 back-to-back red months, then okay, whatever I'm doing is not working. And at that point, I should try to switch it up a little bit. But if it's a break-even month, I'm still happy with that. Of course, I have to pay like a bunch in fees with commissions and stuff, but a break-even month is still a winning month for me in personal. Jason's asking how's the hedge fund thing going? It's all right. I mean, I'm still studying for the test. I'm like on my basically the last chapter. I'm covering regulations now. So hopefully I'll be able to take that test by the end of, let's see, May, June. Hopefully by the end of June or early July, I'll take the test. And then hopefully by the end of summer, the hedge fund will be up and running. And then from there, I can go back to mentoring you guys. I'm just too busy right now with studying and preparing for the test that I don't have time to mentor. But hopefully within the next 2 months, I'll be able to take that test, be done with it, start the hedge fund by the end of summer, and then we'll be back to how things were before with mentoring and starting a new mentoring group. So yeah, it's just a lot of work. I'm not a good test taker. I hated school, so go figure. I went to school for like 8, 10 years to become an attorney. I don't even use that degree. And then I'd had to study for another year or two to take the bar exam, which is like one of the hardest exams to take, pass that exam. And then now here I am back studying again, which is the whole reason I got into trading. So I don't have to study or do work. But yeah, it's just for the licensing. So once I get my license down, I'll be able to manage people's money legally, of course, do everything the right way. And just be careful with those companies, guys, because lately I've been seeing a lot of these account managers on Instagram. None of those guys are licensed. Just keep that in mind. None of those guys are actually doing it the legit way. So the thing with that is that they can run away with your money. So just keep that in mind. When you're licensed, like for example, once I start the hedge fund and I'm licensed, I have to submit my trading history. So you guys will see that like my trading history for like the past 5 years, and you can see that I'm legit. Like these guys who are doing account management, they'll never give you an account statement. They'll never show you their actual P&Ls. Like for me, I show my P&Ls like pretty much every time we trade. So you guys know my track record. So yeah, I mean it kind of sucks because when it sucks when you want to do the things the legal way. There's just so many loops and holes that go through. I mean, technically right now I could probably just, if I didn't want to do things the legal way, I could just start managing accounts, but I'm in it for the long run. And yeah, I just got to do things in the way that's supposed to be done. So hopefully by the end of summer, it'll be ready to go, but it's going to take some time. Yeah, iPhone said, yeah, those tests are wild. I had my Series 6, Series 63, and Series 65 licenses. Was annoying getting through it, but obviously yours is way harder. The Series 3 is actually not too bad. The Series 3 is kind of similar to the 63. It's just because it's futures and it's like combined. So the futures doesn't have so many exams. With the securities exam, you have everything that's kind of spread out, right? Like you said, you have the 6, 65, and 63. For the Series 3, it's kind of like they bunched everything in futures into one thing. And yeah, that's kind of what I got to take. It's kind of annoying, but I think we should be fine. I think that's kind of what's taking up all my time and my stress. I think that's kind of what's taking a toll on our trading too. So if you guys have seen our progress for this year so far, it's taken a toll because I'm not able to I'm getting a lot more FOMO. So if you guys remember the trades from last year, so last year we did pretty good. We had like pretty much every month was a 95% to 80% win rate. The only month that we had a low win rate was in August. That was about it. We had a 68% win rate, but everything else was like 85 to like 90. This year's a little different because I changed things up with the BB3. That's kind of what screwed me up a little bit because I changed my trading style a little bit during February because when I was thinking about starting the hedge fund, I needed a strategy that could be a one-to-one that could be applicable to the hedge fund. However, it doesn't work good with Apex, so I couldn't really run with it. So yeah, just want to get all this stuff out of the way and then we can go back to our normal trading and mentoring and stuff like that. Yeah, thanks, bro. I appreciate it. So there's no entries right now, guys. I know we went off topic for a little bit, but there's just nothing here for us to take. If there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to hop into the chat. It's 7:40 right now. I'm not really expecting too much to happen from now until 8 o'clock. I know there's some volatility here, but the problem with this here is that if price does swing up to a bullish trend, it's going to take a while for it to set up and for us to look for some entries here. So I'll stick around for a little bit, maybe like another 5 minutes or so. If the trend here shifts up, then I'm probably just going to call it because there's not going to be enough time between 7:50 and 8 o'clock for us to take any buys here. It's going to take some time for it to actually swing above, crossover, consolidate, and then climb up, right? 8 o'clock is right here. So I'm not really expecting much movement. And what might happen here is price might push up a little bit, and then it just might consolidate around this area here for a bit. So yeah, Nick's is definitely tough, especially for the people that are just following trades because maybe they're still working while trading, something like that. Yeah, definitely, Nick, 100%. But yeah, if you guys have a personal account, I do recommend, well, I'll let you know how it goes. But for the most part, this is my first day trading on my personal account and then copying to my Apex. I'm making way more profit here. Because if you guys look at my other profits over here, I was making like 900, 700, 800. Like it was like less than 1,000. I was tripping out. I was like, why am I making less? Like I would never make 1,000, right? Every day I would never make 1,000. And then today I switched to my personal account and now everything's making how it's supposed to, well over 1,000. So yeah, if you guys have that opportunity or that option, I probably would switch to your personal account. I don't know if Apex is going to complain about it because it's not the main account, but I'm paying for my own NinjaTrader license, so I don't think they care. I think they only care for using their license because they don't want you to be trading other accounts with their NinjaTrader license. Let's see. CJ said the high level momentum just hit, but he missed it. Yeah, it looks like there was one right here. It was right at news price, like Nick said. But yeah, that was a high level momentum scalp. I typically don't like taking it against the trend, but yeah, that was an entry right there. So let's go back and take a look at all the entries that came up today. So today, I think there was an entry up here. I can't remember what this was. This was the MPS, I believe. So there was an MPS entry that came up over here at 638. That was a win. This is the entry we took today. This was a momentum divergence. That was a win. There was another MPS that Nathan took earlier over here. That was also a win. This right here is a high level momentum scalp. That was also a win. So you can see there was multiple entries that came up. On our main chart here, about 4 entries came up. I only took one of them because that's what I was looking for. Looking at liquidity over here, there was a lot of liquidity that got hit. So a bunch of liquidity down here. I mean, pretty much every level of liquidity that I marked up pre-market, they all got hit to full TP. Yeah, there's actually a lot of liquidity here, guys. I don't know if you guys caught this. I see a lot of profits in the group over here, so I'm assuming some of you guys caught these liquidity pushes. There was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 levels of liquidity right here that got hit to full TP. 4 entries right here on our main chart. PRB hit full TP as well. And let's take a look at the team profits. So we got Andrew over here. He locked in the total profit of 23,765. All wins right here. Nice work, Drew. We got Jonathan here. Total profit of 800 per account. He has 4 accounts here, so well over 3,000 for the day. Nice work, Jonathan. We got Travel over here. Total profit of 200. Nice work, Travel. We have Madhu here. Total profit of 400 for the day. Nice work, Madhu. And that's all the profits for now so far. If you guys have more profit to post up, feel free to send them in. Otherwise, we'll keep looking for a possible opportunity here for entry. We have a sell signal here that's pending. We'll see if price pulls down below and swings back up to provide another opportunity for a momentum divergence. So if we do get that sell signal there, maybe I'll hang out for a little bit, see if another momentum divergence comes up. But if it doesn't, we'll probably wrap this up pretty soon. 7:44 right now. So that sell signal did not close. And it looks like the market's going to do exactly what I just warned you guys about. So I said price is probably going to push up to this area right here and consolidate until 8 o'clock, right? And that's literally what's happening. I only know this because we see this pattern every day. It happens pretty much every day as we get closer to 8 o'clock. And that's the beauty of consistency, right? If you're consistently trading one asset every day at the same time every day, you'll see how things move and you'll understand, okay, this is how price moves. And then sorry. Sorry guys, Kodi and Kai barking. You guys are probably gonna see Kodi on, well, probably like in September. I ordered these office chairs for the dogs. So you'll probably see Kodi and Kai sitting on both sides over here for the next lives. It's not made yet. I hadn't custom built, so it can be here in September. You guys will start to see probably Kodi and Kai right here watching the live with us every morning. I'm surprised people haven't built those yet, like office chairs for dogs. I had to get it custom made, so we'll see. That's the next company I'll start up. Custom dog chairs, dog office chairs. All right, guys, so we have a sell signal right here that came up. Again, I don't think anything's going to happen right here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to pop into the chat. I think price is just going to consolidate around this area from now until 8 o'clock. There's not really too much that's going to happen here. If price starts to climb and starts to drop even lower, then maybe we'll see something. The only thing here is that we need price to like really drop down, and then we need it to really climb up. So it needs to drop down, climb up, and come back down from here. And that's a problem. I just don't expect price to really come down to this area. So I'm going to add up my profits real quick. If it starts to pick up again and market starts to move here, then maybe I'll look for one more entry. If not, I don't think it's gonna happen because the ATR is dropping back down to 16. So the ATR earlier was 22. It was pretty good ATR for move. And now it's just kind of slowing down a bit. And it's just going to get lower and lower. So if you follow these candles here, the candles are getting smaller and smaller. And the ATR is getting smaller and smaller as well. It was at 22, went down to 20, went down to 16. It's probably going to drop down to 15 and lower from there. So let me just add up my profits for the day. Shouldn't take too long because they're all pretty much the same. So for the day so far, I am up, let's see, 1,100 times 20 plus 825 plus 475. All right, so for the day, I am up 23,300. For the week so far, I'm still down, so it's completely fine. I just got to take one more trade or a couple more trades for us to bounce right back. So 1224 times, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 14 plus 1324 plus 1324 plus 1324 plus 1324 plus 1324 plus 995 plus 650. Okay, so here are my profits and losses so far for the day and the week. So for the day so far, I'm currently up for the day, I'm currently up 23,300 for the day. And for the week so far, I'm currently down 25,401. So basically, I need one more win. I need one more full TP to basically get close to break even, and then one more win tomorrow, hopefully, or maybe 2 wins tomorrow to pull myself back in profit. Hoping we'll get that, so it's not another break even week. But I'm not going to force anything here. Of course, I'm going to let things kind of play out. And if I got to take another break even week, that's fine. I'm not going to force it. Yeah, CJ said Kodi Kai are going to be your CFO and COO. Yeah, they're going to be talking in my ears. Kai's going to be telling me to take buys, and Cody's going to be telling me to take sells. You'll see him though. Hopefully the chair gets done pretty quickly so they can sit. Because Kodi typically wants to be on my lap, but I can't trade when he's on my lap because this dude's just trying to lick my face the whole time. So that's a no-go during the live sessions. And he knows, he kind of just waits for me to be done. Yeah, exactly. Nick said trading is fucking brutal sometimes. Yeah, it is. I mean, that's just part of the game, right? Sometimes you just have to understand that there's going to be losing trades, losing days, losing weeks, losing months sometimes. But as long as you come out as in profit, at the end of the month or the end of the year, then that's really what counts. Like I'm okay with one bad month, but two bad months, okay, there's got to be something that needs to be changed because I'm not used to losing that much. So Vince over here locked in a total profit of 420 per Apex account. He has two accounts here, so well over 800 on his Apex, and then a total profit of 390 on his FTMO, about 400 there. So locking well over 1,000 for the day. Nice work, Vince. All wins there. We got Vimal here. He took one trade, one big trade actually. Total profit of 4,558 for the day. Nice work, Vimal. Nice. Took a gold trade. Solid work there. And then we have Natasha over here with a total profit of 240 for the day. All wins. Nice work, Natasha. So if you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in. Again, my profits for the day, this is where I'm currently at. 23,300 for the day. Still in the red for 25,000. So I need about one and a half more wins to bring myself back into the green. 750 right now, guys. I'm not expecting a divergence to happen anytime soon because you can see the divergence here is pretty wide. So it's going to have to swing down, swing back up, and then come back down. But we just don't have that much time from now until 8 o'clock for this to really play out. So, all right, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up for the day. Price is climbing back down. So if you guys want to look for that momentum divergence, feel free. Be careful for the news price right here because you guys can see how the manipulation happened earlier today right here. Right, just make sure the candle's not touching it. But again, you have like about 9 minutes from now until 8. I'm not really expecting a divergence to happen from now until then. If anything, this is probably going to range between this area, like see how price came down, and it'll probably just swing back up slowly and then continue moving sideways for a bit until like later on in the day when the market starts to pick back up. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session. So, all right, guys.